Hey everyone, Rarity Dash here. Time for another Patreon-sponsored blind reaction. And this one comes to you courtesy of that noob pony, who has requested that I react to how Discord came to be by the Brony Notion. So, yeah, this should be good. I've enjoyed the past couple of these Brony Notion videos that I've done. I thought they were really well thought out and really well laid out, and just fun videos overall. And I'm assuming this will be quite similar, and it's an interesting topic of discussion, how Discord came to be. Not really a question I've ever really considered that hard myself, but it's definitely the kind of thing that gets you thinking, and where the answer could be interesting. I doubt we'll ever actually know the answer, but it's the kind of thing where you could probably craft some pretty cool theories, and I'm assuming this will be one. So let's get started and find out. Here we go.
Discord. Ever since he made his first appearance in the Season 2 premiere, Discord has been the subject of so much speculation.
Yeah,
It's just this giant mystery begging
lots
to be
of speculation.
solved. What is he? How did he come to be? And if there's one thing that's consistent through all these theories made about him, it's that we don't really know. Well, unless they get disproven, like the good old Starswirl equals Discord theory.
Yeah, that was the big one.
Starswirl the Bearded accidentally turned himself into Discord. For longtime viewers, you know I defended this theory till the bitter end. I would have loved for Discord to be the result of some magic experiment gone wrong.
It would have been kind of cool.
He still might be. What if Starswirl didn't become Discord, but rather created Discord, like Frankenstein's monster?
That's
A
an idea.
talented sorcerer such as himself is bound to have made some mistakes.
Yeah.
There's an obvious appeal to this theory. It also fits in nicely with my headcanon that Starswirl invented the alicorn by combining magic from all three tribes. After the success of that, it only makes sense
that could be
take it to the next logical step, combining magic from different species. Of course, this wouldn't have gone quite as well. Unlike the other theory, this one is still possible. But as fun as that idea is, it doesn't make much sense from a timeline perspective. Discord didn't enter the scene until the Royal Sisters, as well as the Tree of Harmony, were all fully grown. That's Discord's first known appearance in the timeline.
So that would be after.
Starswirl's last appearance in the timeline, before vanishing to Limbo, was when the Tree of Harmony had just been planted.
So it doesn't
We know
work.
the sisters were much shorter at the time too. So a lot of growing happened between Starswirl's last appearance and Discord's first. That seems to disconnect Discord from Starswirl altogether. You could say that Starswirl created Discord before Limbo, but that asks more questions than it answers. If this is the case, where was Discord during the period between his creation and his conquering of Equestria?
Maybe.
How did Starswirl deal with it?
Maybe he had to
Why
grow
did
up
it
too.
last? Too many
possible.
details unaccounted for just for him to have been the result of Starswirl's experimentations. Discord's timeline before this point, if he has one, is completely unknown. So each detail we add before this is a new assumption. That's why I'm hesitant to subscribe to that theory. So let's talk
Nice.
one.
Subscribe.
Fresh
I like the
theory
lingering
based
on the
recent
subscribe
episode
button.
that's been gaining some traction. This one poses that at the center of Discord's origin story is not Starswirl the Bearded, but someone who may be
Grogar.
just as old, if not older. And that person is Grogar.
Yeah. I could see
Seems
it.
to be
I
all
could
but
see it.
forgotten by modern ponies, Grogar is infamous among the villains, Sombra revering him as the first emperor of Equestria.
I mean, isn't he part of like some story that Twilight read one
In
time?
this episode, the next line that Grogar spoke blew my mind. I gave life to the foulest of creatures and allowed them to run wild, taking what they wanted and destroying the rest.
Okay.
My reign
Yeah,
was a glorious, fear-soaked epoch of darkness in Equestria. As I heard those words, I could feel the excitement rising as the connection started forming in my head. When he's describing his reign of monsters, we see three distinct creatures become a single, horrifying amalgamation. Almost all the monsters we've seen in the show are combinations that can be split into their component parts and fused back together. The bugbear, chimera, cockatrice. What if these were the foul creatures that Grogar made, sewing together bits and pieces of previously existing animals into new, terrifying forms? And then it hit me like a load of bricks. What if one of those creatures was Discord? Everything was adding up, so I got ready to make a new video, scrambling together my thoughts. But then I was running some ideas by local Draconicus expert Event Horizon when he said something like, "You saw Dr. Wolf's video too?" And that's when I realized that someone else beat me to the chase. But maybe I'd still have something to add to the theory, enough to warrant its own video? No, Dr. Wolf covered everything, and even took the concept further into really fascinating applications I
Why wasn't I?
I recommend watching it, but there goes that video idea. He couldn't have known, but I feel like that was revenge for the one time I impersonated him. So there I was, having just hit that brick wall, still wanting to add something to the conversation. This got me to dig deeper, but the more I searched, the more inconsistencies I found with the Grogar theory. I guess it wasn't true after all. It was then that I vowed that if I can't have this theory, Then neither can Dr.
Okay, I see.
No, but seriously, I did want to challenge him with what I found, so I ran it by Dr. Wolf. First of all, without magic, the Tartarus monsters split into their base components. Discord had his magic taken away before, and yet he stayed in one piece. So if Grogar created monsters by stitching together parts of already existing creatures, Discord could not have been one of those. Then Dr. Wolf replied by pointing out that the Tartarus monsters gave their magic willingly, while Discord's was forcefully ripped out. His solution is that some magic can only be surrendered, not taken by force, likening it to the Espers in Final Fantasy III. But here's the thing, there's no in-show precedent for this principle, and even if there was, Tyrek willingly gave his magic, just like the other creatures, but he didn't split into a horse and a... into a horse
I mean... I'm not sure either.
But he didn't split into any components. Nailed it. This tells us that a mix such as a centaur can already be a base form. I mean, just look at griffins or hippogriffs. This world is full of hybrids, and I doubt most of them would split into parts if stripped of their magic. Don't get me wrong, there's something to the fact that the Tartarus monsters did separate, and that may point to a special creation by Grogar. We just have no reason to lump Discord in with those. In fact, the evidence is for this already being Discord's base form. That's what I ran by Dr. Wolf next. When Discord stopped acting chaotic, his physical body started to literally fade away. This tells us that he's not an amalgamation of previously existing things. He's a single physical manifestation of chaos, depending only on chaos to exist. Like Fluttershy said, you're a creature of pure chaos. Being normal is destroying you. Dr. Wolf replied to this one by theorizing that the fading away may have been a failsafe set in place by Grogar. If the purpose of Grogar's monsters was to force submission by spreading terror and fear, he could motivate those monsters to keep doing their job under threat of fading away. His full responses can be found in the second part of his series on the matter. But this reply doesn't add up either, because Grogar's purpose didn't need chaos. You can spread fear and terror with chaos. Discord certainly did later. But you can just as well spread fear and terror with an iron fist of order. So if Grogar did set a failsafe in place, it would have kicked in when the monsters stopped spreading darkness, not when they stopped spreading chaos. And Discord would have faded away long ago once he reformed. Besides, we've seen that Discord doesn't even need a body to exist or even spread chaos.
That is true.
He just needs, well, chaos, which is undeniably his purest essence. Now, I have one last problem with the theory that Grogar created Discord. It's that it leaves a huge unexplained gap in Discord's timeline, just like the theory that Starswirl created Discord, but even worse. To get a timeline going, we have our first confirmed instance of Discord. This came long enough after the Tree of Harmony was planted for it to have been full grown. Now using Tyrek as a reference, he must have come to Equestria when the pillars were still around, because his brother Scorpan befriended Starswirl. Tyrek was already full grown at the time, so go all the way back to when he was young, and this is when he only heard tales of Grogar's tyranny. He even thought they were just legends, so the actual events may have occurred even before that. Regardless, Grogar's reign was long, long ago, and if Discord was part of that, where has he been? Where was he between then and his first known appearance? Was he dealt with in some way? Banished? Weakened? By who? For how long? This theory leaves so much to be desired for Discord's timeline. Again, as fun and full of story potential as those theories are, and full props to Dr. Wolf, I just don't find them convincing. But this video isn't just a list of all the ways Discord didn't come to be. Oh no, I have a few ideas myself. After talking with Dr. Wolf, I elected to set aside the Discord question for a while and focus on other aspects of the show. That resulted in this video, and it's a good thing, because a certain comment on that video helped me realize that surprisingly, these topics may be more closely connected than we thought. In the video, I was talking about how the Tree of Harmony was destroyed, and how the spirit of the Tree of Harmony used the Student 6 to build a replacement. Since the spirit can exist outside the tree or treehouse, I consider it its own thing. That's why I called it the Spirit of Harmony. And that's where that comment comes in. Spirit of Harmony and Spirit of Chaos. We got a Yin and Yang situation going on here. Now, at first I wrote this off as an amusing coincidence, that the show would have a spirit of harmony and a spirit of chaos. What are the odds of that? Pretty cool, right? But let's entertain the thought for a second. Basically, with Yin and Yang, opposites can't exist without each other. Heat can't exist without cold to compare it against, and cold can't exist without heat to compare it against. Opposites also give rise to each other. The darker a place is, the more power light has there. Now, let's see what happens when we start to view chaos and harmony as yin and yang. interdependent forces that are fundamentally connected. An increase on one side would be reflected onto the other side. Think about it like a balancing act. 6 ponies plant a seed that would become the most powerful source of harmony in the land. Discord necessarily arises as the chaotic reflection, the equal and opposite force. Look at the timing and things line up perfectly. This is the earliest known instance of the full-grown tree of harmony. And why are the sisters here? So that they can take the elements and fight the earliest known instance of Discord.
Yeah.
The reason this is Discord's first known appearance is because this is the very beginning of Discord's timeline. His simple one-track minded naivety makes him seem young. Like young. Maybe that's because the harmony from the tree had just pulled Discord into this world. Now, most of you have probably noticed that Discord didn't really bring balance, though. He dragged the world into chaos and tipped the scales to his side. In fact, we haven't really seen much balance in the past at all. At first, this might seem like a problem with the theory, but it's all part of the story. The forces of harmony and of chaos have a history of fighting against one another and one-upping each other. The very first thing we saw Discord try to do is destroy the Tree of Harmony by planting seeds of his own. Nice parallel. But it's not just him. The forces of harmony have been trying to completely do away with chaos as well, banishing Discord to stone. Chaos versus harmony has been a huge theme in MLP history, but it goes back even further. Sure, it's possible Discord came as a result of the Tree of Harmony, but we know for a fact that even the tree itself was planted partially to counteract the unbridled chaos of the Everfree Forest. To take things another step back, I wouldn't be surprised if the Yin Everfree Forest started growing in the first place to counteract the harmony from the Yang Friendship Fire, which was to counteract the Yin Wendigos, and basically this has been going on forever.
That's
now,
thought.
Hold up. The whole point of Yin and Yang is that opposites aren't supposed to be at odds. They're supposed to complement each other. Order without some chaos is dull, and chaos without some order is cacophony. Think about when something crazy messes up your schedule. It makes you appreciate the routine. But too much of that boring routine makes you appreciate the spontaneous. They need to cooperate, not dominate. And that is why Celestia asked the main 6 to free Discord and try to reform him. She must have realized that chaos doesn't mean evil. Anyone who's played Dungeons & Dragons knows that they're on different axes. And if you can get both opposites to coexist on the side of good, everyone will be happier and stronger because of it. That's what the past 5 seasons have been. The forces of chaos and of harmony on the same team. After an endless seesaw back and forth, finally, balance. I really like this theory of Discord's origin and purpose, not just because it matches his timeline, but because it tells a bigger story. Connecting parts of the lore we never considered might be related. And Discord is the best way to ultimately bring a conclusion to this. A force of chaos that understands a little harmony is important.
I want to marry Discord.
Where chaos is needed and where it's not. For the most part. It's not to say tensions won't exist as both sides grow and evolve. In fact, watching Discord and the Spirit of Harmony interact would be a lot of fun. All that really matters is that they're finally allowing each other to do their jobs. But what do you guys think? Are chaos and harmony fundamentally connected? How do you think Discord came to be? Leave your thoughts in the comments. We're halfway through the 9th and final season of Friendship is Magic, so we're either gonna get our answers soon or never. Hopefully the former, but in the meantime, I'll be reading your comments. This has been the Brony Notion.
I'm not sure. I kind of doubt they're gonna pin anything down in that regard, but this is a very good theory. I mean, kind of weird that it's kind of a response video, but I mean, it seems just very well thought out. I mean, the whole idea of it, the timeline, just using all the little things that are said to make a timeline. He's very good at that, and just laying it all out there. Yeah, Grogar doesn't seem like a good answer just because that's so far in the past for even Tyrek. So, yeah, Discord, the question of everything with him is definitely an interesting one. Though at the same time, Tyrek and Discord knew each other, so when was Tyrek? I'm not really very sure of that. Yeah, that's kind of an interesting... Yeah, because Tyrek came, at least he arrived in Equestria with his brother, and they were friends with Starswirl. And he knew Discord. So, that kind of complicates the timeline, I feel. Unless Tyrek was around for a really long time and just the ponies couldn't deal with him until finally, eventually, he got put into Tartarus, which is very possible. I mean, that his reign actually lasted for a while. Because we don't really know much about... I forget how the story went. About how he was actually defeated. I need to go back to that, to the season 4 finale. But I don't remember. I don't really have a strong memory of how that story ended for Tyrek, how he ended up in Tartarus. But it could have been that he really lasted a while and was a problem for Equestria for a long time. But I don't know. Whatever the case, so this is a very solid theory, I think. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, I like the idea of a spirit of harmony and a spirit of chaos kind of combating. That's pretty cool, and it's just I think it works pretty well, and it was kind of fun seeing the theories dissected and everything, like the whole Grogar theory and everything with that. And the whole, I never even considered I mean, I think with Grogar, I had talked to people who had highlighted the whole him creating the monsters thing, and the extension that maybe he created Discord was kind of a natural one to make, but yeah, I don't think with all that considered that's the case. But I had never considered the idea that Starswirl had made Discord, but that too also doesn't really seem to make that much sense. So it kind of could, as I said earlier, it could make sense. It could be the case, because maybe before he goes to Limbo, Starswirl creates Discord, and then it takes Discord some time to actually fully mature to his self. Could be even that. I mean, either way, if he's a side effect of the Tree of Harmony, this counterbalancing force, it could be the case that that's why it took a while for him that he grew in parallel with the tree. That could be the case. I don't know, but it definitely makes you think, and it's definitely a really cool video, and the Burning Ocean is definitely good at this stuff. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one, and I hope you did as well. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. Let me know if you did, and see you in the next one.